Hello and welcome you all. Myself Manasi Ganu and we are dealing with 1.3, the call of the soil, a scent of the rice. In our previous two videos we learned about that Venkateshwaran Iyer, who was an IITian, he had changed his direction. He decided to be a farmer, and when he bought the farm at Peth Vadgaon, first of all he planted moong, and we learn from this extract that what he felt when he experienced the first crop of moong in his own farm. He had planted GR4 variety. This was his first crop of rice, but this was not a traditional crop. He had to accept it because he had less time and it was recommended by agricultural officer. But he couldn't get a lot of yield. He couldn't get a nice production in that field. Later, he had decided that he will go for some traditional rice variety. Now he was searching for traditional rice variety, but he couldn't get a lot of information from the people, from the villagers. So he visited the agriculture officer, but he couldn't get good information from agriculture officer. Finally, he met other other people from various villages, and there he met Devu Handa. He was ex-sarpanch, and we were learning that he was mentioning about Kasbai, which was very specific and unique crop at their times. Kasbai had very nice and tempting aroma, which was little bit milder, but which was very nice. He was talking about how people who used to travel through their village, they used to come and ask for the rice because they were tempted to eat that rice, because all over the village everyone was using the same crop, everyone was planting the same crop, and there was a nice aroma of that kasbai which was hanging in their village at that time. Now he also mentioned that farmers had to accept a second crop and they have to give up kasbai because kasbai was a long duration crop, so it was replaced by other shorter duration hybrids. The demerit of kasbai was it took a long time to grow up, it took a long time to be prepared, and so farmers had to change their method. Farmers who thought that they need to take advantage of irrigational facilities and they are now accessible to get a second crop, they had because of demerit of kasbai and other traditional rice varieties. So now let us continue with page number 29. आपण आत्तापर्यंत बघितलं की व्यंकटेश्वर अय्यर हे एक शेतकरी म्हणून आता काम करू लागले होते आणि त्यांचा शेती करण्याचा अनुभव त्यांना किती चांगले अनुभव देणारा होता याबद्दल आपण वाचलं. किती छान अनुभव देणारा होता हे आपण वाचलं. त्यानंतर आपण मुगाचं त्यांचं उत्पादन कसं छान झालं होतं आणि त्यातून त्यांना कसं प्रोत्साहन मिळालं होतं हेही आपण वाचलं. त्याच्यानंतर त्यांनी GR4 ही व्हरायटी घ्यायची ठरवली. खरं तर त्यांना हायब्रिड कडे वळायचं नव्हतं, त्यांना हायब्रिड पिकं घ्यायची नव्हती, पण त्यांच्याकडे वेळ खूप कमी होता, अवधी खूप कमी होता आणि त्यामुळे त्यांना ही भाताची GR4 ही व्हरायटी त्यांना त्यांच्या शेतामध्ये प्लॅन्ट करावी लागली. आता ह्या व्हरायटीचा तसा त्यांना फायदा काही झाला नाही, त्यांचं उत्पादन काही चांगलं निघालं नाही त्या वर्षीचं, आणि त्याच्यामुळेच त्यांनी असं ठरवलं की पुढच्या वर्षीपासून आपण ट्रॅडिशनल भाताच्या पिकांचा आपण आता वापर करायचा. आणि त्याबद्दल त्यांनी जेव्हा माहिती गोळा करायला सुरुवात केली तेव्हा कासबाई ह्या भाताच्या पिकाबद्दल त्यांना माहिती कळली. बरेचसे तरुण शेतकरी या नावाबद्दल, ह्या देशी वाणाबद्दल अनभिज्ञ होते. त्यांना याच्याबद्दलची काहीच माहिती नव्हती. अगदी ॲग्रिकल्चर ऑफिसरला सुद्धा याच्याबद्दलची काही माहिती नव्हती. मग आदिवासी महामंडळ कसा, इथलं जे आदिवासी महामंडळ होतं तिथे काहीतरी माहिती मिळेल यासाठी लेखक तिथे भेट देऊन आला. त्यानंतर तिथेसुद्धा त्याला थोडीशी माहिती मिळाली. त्याच्यानंतर लेखक आणि त्याच्याबरोबर असलेल्या त्याच्या साथीदारांनी जवळपासच्या शेतकऱ्यांना, जे वृद्ध शेतकरी आहेत त्यांना विचाराचा चंग बांधला आणि त्यामध्ये देवू हंडाशी त्यांची मुलाखत झाली. देवू हंडाने जेव्हा कासबाईचा विषय निघाला तेव्हा ते अगदी भूतकाळातच रममाण झाले. त्यांना त्या पिकाबद्दल खूपच त्यांच्या चांगल्या आठवणी होत्या. ते म्हणाले की त्यावेळी त्यांच्या पूर्ण गावामध्ये ह्या देवू हंडा म्हणाले की त्या भाताचा वासच इतका सुगंधी होता की अगदी प्रवासीसुद्धा त्या प्रवाशालासुद्धा त्या भाताचा मोह व्हायचा आणि तो भात आपला मिळावा यासाठी गावातल्या शेतकऱ्यांकडे ते याचना करायचे, थोडीशी भाताची मागणी करायचे आणि पूर्ण गावामध्ये हेच भात पिकवलं जायचं आणि दुपारी जेवणाच्या वेळेला सगळ्या घरांमधून याच भाताचा सुगंध यायचा. आणि हे सगळं बोलत असताना ते म्हणाले की आता कोणीही त्यांच्या गावातलं कासबाई ह्या पिकाचं उत्पादन घेत नाही. त्यांनासुद्धा आता तो टेस्टलेस असलेला हायब्रिड खावा लागतो. बेचव आणि निरस असलेला भात त्यांना खावा लागतो. आता याच्याबद्दल जेव्हा लेखकाने त्यांना विचारलं तेव्हा लेखकाला त्याने सांगितलं की शेतकऱ्यांना जेव्हा पाण्याच्या साधनांचा पुरवठा व्हायला लागला, पाणी त्यांना उपलब्ध होऊ लागलं तेव्हा आणखीन दुसरं पीक घेता येणं शक्य होऊ लागलं. आणि कासबाईचं डिमेरिट असं होतं, कासबाईचं तोटा असा होता, त्याची तोट्याची बाजू अशी होती की हे एक लॉंग ड्युरेशन क्रॉप आहे. त्याला जास्त वेळ लागतो पीक मिळण्यासाठी, पीक हाती लागण्यासाठी, तयार होण्यासाठी. आणि त्याच्यामुळे कासबाईच्या ऐवजी हायब्रिडची कमी वेळ लागणारी अशी उत्पादनं घेण्याकडे शेतकऱ्यांचा कल वाढायला लागला, जेणेकरून जास्त पीक आपल्याला शेतामधून घेता येईल आणि जास्त पैसे मिळवता येतील यासाठी शेतकरी दुसऱ्या पिकाकडे वळू लागले. सो लेट अस कंटिन्यू. I asked why he had shifted if he was so unhappy with the hybrids. No one forced him to do, did they? He smiled and replied that their fields didn't have fences, and once the harvest was over, the cattle were released into the fields. If my field alone has kasbai, it will be a treat for the cattle, he explained. Now, when narrator asked him that he was not eager to get the second crop. Devu Handa was missing Kasbai. He was thinking about Kasbai very deeply. He was saying that these hybrids are insipid. These hybrid products are tasteless. This rice is not good for health, or this rice is not good for enjoy it. Then why he is turning towards hybrid? Why he is not either planting kasbai in his own land? As he was an ex-sarpanch, he must be a very powerful person. There may not be anybody who will force him to plant hybrid in his land. Then why he is not planting kasbai in his own field? While answering this, Devu Handa smiled and he replied that their fields didn't have fences. Their fields didn't have the protection from the cattle or any other. When the harvest is over, when the crop is cut down, the farmer allow their cattle to go and graze in the field. They release their cattle in the fields, and if only Devuhanda is planting kasbai, his crop will be still in the field. Others will done their work, others will be completed, others will complete their harvesting, and they will release their cattle, but Devuhanda still will have their crop in the field, and there will be great difficulty because cattle will definitely destroy his crop, because it will be a very nice trait for cattle. They will easily turn towards kasbai, which is very tempting, which has very tempting and nice alluring aroma, and so it will be a treat for cattle to graze in his field, and so it will be a very challenging task to control the cattle and to protect his production or crop. Now see on page number 30. Sometimes we have to fall in line with the community, he lamented. Hybrids need more water, fertilizers, and pesticides. He said that yields were good initially, but of late had reduced a lot. Besides, he said that each year they had to increase the quantity of urea and pesticides they used. It was as if the newer hybrids had an insatiable appetite for chemicals. He told us that even when there were flash floods in the 60s, Kasbai had stood its ground. He fondly remembered how the rice was still standing when they all returned to the village after the floods had receded. Such was the strength of the rice. But while explaining that why he was unable to plant kasbai, he explained that he briefly mentioned that sometimes we have to accept the decision of community. Sometimes we have to accept the decision of community. We have to be with community. And while mentioning it, while explaining it, he was also explaining about the demerits or disadvantages of hybrid. He mentioned that hybrids need more water. These crops are hungry for fertilizers and pesticides. He mentioned that this yield, these hybrid yields or this hybrid crop were good at start. They were productive when it was the start of this plantation, but later onwards it reduced a lot. It proved that it is not very beneficial. Each year they had to increase the quantity of urea, means fertilizer and pesticides, for the nice plantation, for nice production. Every year they have to increase the quantity of this pesticides and fertilizers. This was not the good sign, as these newer hybrids, they are not satisfying with the chemicals. They are hungry for these chemicals. He also mentions very nice memory when he was experiencing the flood situation in 1960. It was flash flood in that area, and when they have to move to secure their lives, at that time also this kasbai, this crop was at its ground. It was safe and firm. He remembered very fondly, he remembered it very nicely, that when they returned after the floods had receded, after the flood is over, when they came back to the village, they saw that the rice was still firm and it was still standing nicely. Kasbai was very strong rice. It was very strong traditional crop. It didn't need pesticides or fertilizers to give a nice production. It was even strong in flood situation, and it could survive and sustain itself uh, very nicely and cope up with changes. Only demerit of it was a long duration crop, and Devohanda became very emotional. He sad when he was explaining how it was a strong rice, but how they had lost it and how they are changed towards the hybrids. आता आपण बघितलं की देवोहंडा सांगत होते की त्यांना समाजाबरोबर राहताना समाजामध्ये जे बदल होतात त्याप्रमाणे आपल्यालासुद्धा त्याच्याबरोबरच जावं लागतं, हे त्यांनी अगदी दुःखाने लेखकाला सांगितलं. ते म्हणाले की हायब्रिडचं जे पीक आहे, हायब्रिडची जी बियाणी आहेत त्यांना अधिक पाण्याची गरज असते, जास्त फर्टिलायझर आणि पेस्टिसाइड्सचा वापर त्यांना करावा लागतो, जास्त खतं आणि कीटकनाशकांचा वापर त्यांना करावा लागतो. सुरुवातीच्या काळात शेतकरी खुश होते, कारण अशी हायब्रिडची बियाणी, अशी हायब्रिडचं पीक अतिशय चांगलं उत्पादन मिळायचं त्याला. पण हळूहळू जसा जसा कालावधी लोटू लागला तसं तसं पीक कमी कमी या हायब्रिड्सना दरवर्षी अधिकाधिक केमिकल्स लागतात. युरिया किंवा अशी रासायनिक खतं आणि कीटकनाशकं यांची मात्रा, यांचं प्रमाण त्यांच्यासाठी दरवर्षी वाढवावं लागतं. आणि जी नवीन हायब्रिड जाती निर्माण झाल्यात किंवा शोधल्या गेल्यात त्यांना तर खूपच मोठ्या प्रमाणावरती केमिकल्स लागतं, असं देवोहंडा म्हणत होते. ते म्हणाले की ह्या न्यूअर हायब्रिड्सची, नवीन निर्माण झालेल्या, नवीन शोधल्या गेलेल्या हायब्रिड्सची केमिकल्ससाठीची जी भूक आहे ती प्रचंड मोठी आहे, न भागवता येणारी अशी अचाट आहे. ते पुन्हा भूतकाळात रमायला लागले. ते म्हणाले की जेव्हा महाराष्ट्रामध्ये 1960मध्ये प्रचंड मोठा असा पूर आला होता, तेव्हा सगळ्या गावातल्या लोकांनी आपलं गाव त्यांना सोडून जावं लागलं होतं. आणि तेव्हासुद्धा त्यांना हे आठवत होतं की जेव्हा ते पुन्हा गावी परत आले होते, तेव्हा पूर ओसरून जेव्हा ते गावी परत आले होते तेव्हा कासबाईचं पीक तसंच दिमाखामध्ये त्या पुरामध्ये सुद्धा टिकून राहिलं होतं, त्याचं नुकसान झालं नव्हतं. ते म्हणाले की अशी त्या प्रकारच्या भाताची ताकद होती, अशी त्या ट्रॅडिशनल राईसची ताकद होती. पण आपण त्या पिकाचा तितकासा चांगला वापर केला नाही किंवा ते आपण भात किंवा पीक टिकवलं नाही, याच्याबद्दल त्यांनी खंत व्यक्त केली. See on page number 30, second paragraph. As he went on reminiscing about the rice, we gently guided him back to the reason for our visit, the Kasbai seeds. He was sure that there was not a single villager in his area who would have the seeds of Kasbai. According to him, the only people who still grew it were the Adivasis at the hamlet at the foothills of the mountains in the next village, Asarvari. We bid farewell to Devuhanda, who lovingly blessed us and said, Mahalakshmi, the local goddess, will give you the seeds of Kasbai. As he was talking about the rice, as he was talking about the past events related with the Kasbai, narrator and his friend reminded him that they had visited him to know about the Kasbai seed. If he can tell more information about Kasbai seeds, he was sure that in his village nobody could give that Kasbai seeds to narrator because nobody have that seeds. According to him, only few Adivasis who live at the foothills of mountains, who live in a small village in the next They only have the seeds of kasbai. They only grew this type of traditional crops in their farms. Now, narrator and his friend bid farewell. They said thank you to Devuhanda and they said goodbye to Devuhanda, who blessed them and said that the goddess, the god will definitely help them, and the god will definitely provide the seeds of kasbai to them and fulfill their search. आता देवोहांडा भूतकाळात रमले होते. त्या भाताबद्दलच्या, त्या कासबाई ह्या ट्रॅडिशनल राईस व्हरायटीबद्दल अगदी भरभरून बोलत होते आणि म्हणून पुन्हा लेखकाने त्यांच्या भेटीचं कारण त्यांच्यापुढे मांडलं. लेखकाने त्याला सांगितलं त्याला कासबाई ह्या भाताची बियाणी हवी आहेत. आता देवोहांडा यांना याच्याबद्दलची खात्री होती की त्यांच्या जवळपासच्या कुठल्याच शेतकऱ्याकडे, त्यांच्या गावातल्या कुठल्याच शेतकऱ्याकडे ह्या कासबाईची बियाणी उपलब्ध नसतील. त्यांना हेही माहिती होतं की आदिवासी गावामध्येच फक्त आसरवारी नावाचं जे शेजारचंच गाव होतं, त्या गावामध्येच डोंगराच्या पायथ्याशी जी आदिवासी पाड्या होत्या, जे आदिवासींचं छोटंसं गाव होतं, तिथेच फक्त ह्या प्रकारची अजूनही बियाणी आहेत आणि ते शेतकरी अजूनही ह्या प्रकारचं धान्य घेतात याच्याबद्दल त्यांना माहिती होती. आणि अशा प्रकारे देवुहांडा यांचा निरोप घेऊन हे दोघे आपल्या पुन्हा शोधांमध्ये निघाले. देवुहांडा यांनी भरभरून त्यांना आशीर्वाद दिला आणि त्यांनी असा आशीर्वाद दिला की तुम्हाला देवीच्या कृपेने ही कासबाईची बियाणी मिळोत, असा भरभरून आशीर्वाद त्यांना देवुहांडा यांनी दिला. नाउ लेट्स कंटिन्यू ऑन पेज नंबर 30, लास्ट पैराग्राफ. In Asarwari village, we asked the Sarpanch to help us as we were not very fluent with the local dialect. He sent his assistant Jeevan with us into the hills. After a half-hour walk through thick vegetation, crossing numerous streams and ditches and scrambling over rocks and gravel, we reached the sleepy hamlet of Boripada. There were just 2 ramshackle houses in front of us, and we wondered if this was the right place. A wrinkled old woman sitting before one of the houses looked at us with curiosity. As we approached her, we signaled to Jeevan to ask the crucial question. She muttered in reply, and we looked at Jeevan for a quick interpretation. He broke into a smile and informed us that she did have the rice and wanted to know who we were. Now they reached at Asarwari village and they asked the Sarpanch to help them because they didn't know the local language, the regional language of these Adivasis. He sent his assistant Jeevan, who was able to translate the regional language to narrator. After a walk of half an hour through the jungle, through the deep forest, and after crossing many streams and ditches and rocks and gravel, they finally reached towards the sleepy hamlet. They finally reached towards very quiet small part of that Boripada. There were only 2 houses in front of them, and they were thinking about if this is the right place to get the seeds of kasbai. They saw a wrinkled old woman who was wrinkled because she was very old. She was sitting in front of the house and she was looking with curiosity as these civilized people were in her native place. When they approached towards that lady and they signaled Jeevan to ask about that crucial and very important question, that if she had some seeds of kasbai, if she is able to provide them seeds of kasbai, she muttered something as a reply. And now narrator and his friend both were looking at Jivan for his interpretation, for his translation. Jivan indicated with a smile that she is ready, and he informed that she had the rice, she had the seeds, and she wanted to know that who are these people and why these people want the seeds of castor. आसरवारी ह्या गावामध्ये जेव्हा ते दोघे पोचले तेव्हा त्यांनी सरपंचांकडे जाऊन त्यांना मदत करण्यासाठी एखाद्या तिथली लोकल भाषा जाणणाऱ्या त्यांच्याबरोबर पाठवण्याची त्यांनी विनंती केली आणि त्याप्रमाणे त्यांना जीवन नावाचा असिस्टंट मिळाला. त्या जीवनबरोबर अर्धा पाऊण तासाच्या जंगलातल्या प्रवासानंतर त्या जंगलातून दऱ्याखोऱ्यातून आणि त्याच्याबरोबर अनेक ओढे ओलांडून खड्डे पार करून भरपूर दगडगोटे पार करून जेव्हा ते अतिशय झोपाळलेल्या अतिशय शांत अशा 2-3 झोपड्या असलेल्या त्या बोरीपाड्यावरती जेव्हा पोहोचले तेव्हा त्याला तिथे फक्त 2च मोडकळीला आलेली अशी घरं त्यांना दिसली आणि त्यांना याच्याबद्दल आश्चर्य वाटलं की आपण इथे योग्य त्या ठिकाणी येऊन पोचलो आहे की नाही. तिथे एक अतिशय सुरकुत्या पडलेली अशी वृद्ध स्त्री त्या घराच्या बाहेर होती आणि ती अतिशय उत्सुकतेने ह्या दोघांकडे पाहत होती. जेव्हा त्या स्त्रीपर्यंत ते जाऊन पोचले आणि त्यांनी जीवनला तो महत्त्वाचा प्रश्न विचारायला सांगितला की तिच्याकडे त्या कासबाईची बियाणी आहेत की नाही, तेव्हा ती काहीतरी उत्तरादाखल कुजबुजली, काहीतरी बडबडली. अर्थातच तिची भाषा ह्या दोघांना येत नव्हती आणि मोठ्या अपेक्षेने जीवनकडे त्या दोघांनी पाहिलं. आता त्या जीवनने त्यांना स्माईल दिलं आणि त्यांना माहितीही दिली की तिच्याकडे ते धान्य आहे, तिच्याकडे ती बियाणी आहेत, पण तिला आधी हे जाणून घ्यायचं आहे की हे कोण आहेत आणि त्यांना ते धान्य. Now let's go on page number 31. It was a difficult task to keep a straight face, and I had to control a strong desire to hug her. After searching for months, we had found the elusive Kasbai. We explained to her that we were from Pet nearby, and we needed the seeds to grow it. We asked for 10 kilograms of rice. She muttered and scolded. Jivan interpreted that she had never heard of Pet village and also did not have a weighing scale. She was willing to give the seeds only in baskets. We asked for a single basket of rice and Jivan told us to pay her something. I handed over 100 rupees note, and for the first time in the last 10 minutes her face broke into a smile. She nodded her head in approval. Now it was very difficult task for narrator. It was very challenging to be a normal. It was very difficult to keep a straight face for narrator because he was very happy and he was very excited. Finally he could reach and he could get the kasbai seeds, and so he had finished his search. He finally was successful to get the very unique seed of kasbai, and it was very difficult to control himself to emotional. He became very energetic, and so he had to control his emotions, and he was actually feeling the desire to hug her. After finishing his search for various months, he could found the very difficult seed of kasbai, which was very difficult to get, which was very difficult to find. They explain about their journey. They explain that they are the farmers from Pet, which is very near from her, and they needed the seeds to grow in their field. They required 10 kilograms of seed. At this, she muttered something in her language and she frowned, means she was not happy. Jivan, who knew her language, he interpreted, he explained that she hadn't heard about the name of Pet village and she didn't even have a weighing scale so she can count, so she can give 10 kilograms of rice nicely or perfectly. She was willing to give the seeds in basket. So narrator asked for a single basket of rice and Jivan told to pay her something. Narrator handed her 100 rupee, and after this 10 minutes, after their 10 minutes conversation, when she saw that note, she broke into a smile. She was very happy and contented when she saw that note, or when she saw Indian currency, because money also matter in her life. Money was also very important in her life. She nodded her head in approval and she sanctioned uh, the seeds. She granted the seeds to narrator and she accepted 100 rupee. आता हे तिला सांगणं कठीण होतं. तिला या सगळ्याबद्दलची कल्पना देणं खूप कठीण होतं. ते कोण आहेत आणि त्यांना नेमकं काय हवं आहे ह्याच्याबद्दल सगळं सांगणं कठीण होतं. पण तिच्याकडे जेव्हा तो राईस आहे, तिच्याकडे जेव्हा कासबाईचं बियाणं आहे हे जेव्हा लेखकाला कळलं, तेव्हा मघासारखाच चेहरा करून, नॉर्मल चेहरा करून ठेवणं त्याला खूप कठीण गेलं. त्याला खूप आनंद झाला. तो खूप एक्सायटेड होता आणि अक्षरशः तिला मिठी मारावी इतका आनंद, त्या वृद्ध स्त्रीला आनंदाच्या आणि उत्साहाच्या भरात मिठी मारावी इतका आनंद त्याला झाला होता. भरपूर महिन्यांच्या शोधानंतर अखेरीस दुर्मिळ असं कासबाईचं बियाणं त्यांना मिळालं होतं आणि आता पेठ, त्यांनी त्या स्त्रीला सांगितलं की ते जवळच्याच पेठ नावाच्या गावामधून आलेले आहेत आणि ती बियाणं, हे कासबाईचं बियाणं त्यांना शेतामध्ये पेरण्यासाठी हवं आहे. त्यांनी 10 किलो बियाण्याची मागणी केली. ती स्त्री काहीतरी तिच्या भाषेत कुजबुजली आणि तिच्या कपाळावरती आठ्या होता. जीवन नावाच्या त्या माणसाने ती नेमकं काय म्हणत होती हे लेखकाला समजावून सांगितलं. जीवनने हे सांगितलं की तिने पेठ ह्या गावाचं नाव कधीच आत्तापर्यंत ऐकलं नाही आहे आणि 10 किलो तांदूळ मोजण्यासाठी, 10 किलो बियाणं मोजण्यासाठी तिच्याकडे वजनाचा काटाही नाही आहे, तराजूही नाही आहे. पण तरी टोपल्यांमध्ये बियाणं देऊ इच्छित होती, बियाणं द्यायला तयार होती. लेखकाने एक टोपली बियाण्याची मागणी केली आणि जीवनने लेखकाला सुचवलं की तिला काही पैसे द्यावेत. लेखकाने 100 रुपयाची नोट तिला दिली आणि गेल्या 10 मिनटामध्ये ती अजिबात तिच्या चेहऱ्यावरती हास्य नव्हतं. पण जेव्हा 100 रुपयाची तिने नोट पाहिली, त्या स्त्रीने जेव्हा, वृद्ध स्त्रीने जेव्हा नोट पाहिली, तेव्हा ती पहिल्यांदाच तिच्या चेहऱ्यावरती हास्य फुललं. म्हणजे आदिवासी स्त्रीसाठी सुद्धा ते 100 रुपये खूप महत्त्वाचे होते आणि हा सौदा मंजूर झाल्याबद्दल ते इंडिकेट करण्यासाठी तिने होकारार्थी तिची मान हलवली. नाऊ लेट्स टर्न टुवर्ड्स लास्ट पॅरेग्राफ. ॲज वी वॉक्ड बॅक अगेन्स्ट द फेडिंग सनसेट, leaving behind a smiling old lady, I couldn't help but wonder that here, nestling in the foothills of an unknown mountain away from the hustle and bustle of the road or the city, were the real people of India. These were the people who still held on to the rich biodiversity of our land, and no one even cared about them. They had never heard of hybrids, fertilizers, or pesticides. The old lady we met had probably never left Boripada. Her world was unspoiled by progress, and for once I was grateful for that. As narrator moved towards his destination again, he started his journey back towards Pate with getting the seeds of Kasbai. It was a time of sunset, and he was saying goodbye to a smiling old lady. She was satisfied with getting only 100 rupees, but narrator was looking back at her. He was wondering at that incident, as she was living in the foothills of that unknown mountain. She was away from all the hustle and bustle of the road or city or civilization. These people, these Adivasis, are the real people of India because they are preserving our culture, they are preserving our tradition, and they are preserving our real strength of our nation. These are the people who still held the biodiversity, rich biodiversity of our India. They still control and they still maintain the rich biodiversity of our nation. And here actually no one care about these people. No one is thinking about the needs or necessities of these people. They don't even know about hybrids or fertilizers or pesticides. They are not aware about the modern techniques of agriculture. They don't know even about modern things. They are not aware about modern civilized things. They just grew their rice, they just grew their food with simple technique, the normal simple technique of nature, and they ate what they get from the nature. This lady who might have not visited Pate, she might have not left Boripada in her whole life. She was not aware about the world and its progress, but her world was not spoiled by the progress. She was living in that happy and contented world which was untouched by progress, which was not disturbed by progress, which was safe from all type of progressive things. And for that, narrator was grateful for that. आता लेखक ह्या परिस्थितीतून बाहेर पडत होता. लेखक त्या बोरीपाड्यातून बाहेर पडत होता. सूर्यास्ताची वेळ होती आणि त्या स्त्रीकडे वळून लेखक बघत होता. ती स्त्री, जी वृद्ध स्त्री होती, तिच्या चेहऱ्यावरती फक्त 100 रुपये मिळाल्यानंतर तिच्या चेहऱ्यावरती प्रसन्न असं हसू दिसत होतं. आणि तिला मागे ठेवून तिला बाय म्हणून लेखक आता निघाला होता. आता लेखक ह्या परिस्थितीमध्ये काहीच मदत करू शकत नव्हता. लेखक काहीच करू शकत नव्हता. लेखकाला याचं आश्चर्य वाटत होतं की अगदी शहरापासून किंवा रस्त्यापासून, रस्त्याच्या कुठल्याही गर्दीपासून दूर असलेल्या एखाद्या अननोन अशा माहीत नसलेल्या जंगलाच्या कुठल्या तरी पायथ्याशी ही लोकं राहत होती. आणि हेच लेखकाच्या मते भारताचे खरे लोक आहेत. भारताचं खरी डायव्हर्सिटी, खरी जैवविविधता ह्याच लोकांनी त्याची जपणूक केली आहे. हेच लोक भारताच्या खऱ्या ठेवाचं संरक्षण करत आहेत. भारताच्या खऱ्या वारशाचं हेच लोक संरक्षण करत आहेत असं लेखकाला वाटत होतं. आणि अशा परिस्थितीतसुद्धा कुणालाही ह्या लोकांची अजिबात काळजी नाही. शासनसुद्धा त्याची काही फारशी काळजी करत नाही. हे लोक सिव्हिलायझेशनपासून, हे लोक शहरीकरणापासून, सर्वसामान्य सोयीसुविधांपासून खूप लांब आहेत. त्यांना अगदी आपल्या अन्नासाठी सुद्धा झटावं लागतं. सर्वसामान्य माणसाला ज्या हक्कांची किंवा ज्या मूलभूत सोयीसुविधांची जाणीव असते त्या सगळ्यांपासून फार लांब असलेली ही माणसं आहेत. आणि तरीसुद्धा ते खऱ्या निसर्गाचं, ते भारतातल्या खऱ्या वारशाचं अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारे संरक्षण करत आहेत, याच्याबद्दल लेखकाला कौतुक होतंच. त्यांनी आत्तापर्यंत कधी हायब्रिड्सची, फर्टिलायझर्सची किंवा पेस्टिसाईड्सची नावंही कधी ऐकली नसतील, किंवा आधुनिक अशा तंत्रविज्ञानाबद्दल, आधुनिक अशा शेतीच्या मशागतीच्या वेगवेगळ्या पद्धतींबद्दल, अधिक कसं पीक घ्यायचं किंवा अधिक चांगल्या प्रकारे पीक कसं घेता येईल याच्याबद्दलची त्यांना काहीही माहिती नसावी, तरीसुद्धा ते नेहमीच्या पारंपरिक पद्धतीने निसर्गाला त्रास न देता निसर्गाच्याच मदतीने ते आपलं अन्न कसंबसं पिकवून आपल्या पुरेसं अन्न मिळवून खातात आणि निसर्गामध्ये जे जे उपलब्ध असतं ते 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 मिळवतात. त्या स्त्रीने कदाचित बोरीपाडासुद्धा कधी ओलांडला नसेल. ती स्त्री आपलं गाव सोडून कदाचित बाहेर पडली नसेल. तिचं जग हे प्रगतीपासून कायम फारकत घेतलेलं होतं. प्रगतीने कधीही तिच्या जगावरती हल्ला केला नव्हता. प्रगतीमुळे तिचं जग, आनंदी जग कधीही विस्कटलं गेलं नव्हतं. आणि म्हणून लेखक म्हणतो की त्याच्याबद्दल मी कृतज्ञ होतो. याबद्दल मला कृतज्ञता वाटली, कारण तिचं जग प्रगतीमुळे विध्वस्त झालं नव्हतं. प्रगतीमुळे तिचं जग, प्रगतीशिवाय सुद्धा तिचं जग तसंच अबाधित राहू शकलं होतं. I hope you understand this video. Keep watching the previous videos. If you face any problem, you can ask me personally. Keep watching the channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.